Greetings, my friends. This is Byron Warren. The mindset is key, and I want to speak with you today about going beyond average. And you got to get to that place. I mean, just enough is not enough. But when you begin to go beyond the average, you're just no longer the average person anymore. You're no longer just going along with the average day-to-day activities. You begin to work mentally on that mindset. You begin to think about those childhood goals you had, those dreams of the things that you could do. But so often we get complacent, or we begin to look around and say, I got a little gray hair now, it may be too late. Well, I'm here to tell you, no matter how gray your hair gets, it doesn't mean anything. Age does not define your goals. Listen to me. True story. There was this man. He worked the crops many years. In his young years, he was faithful, working those crops, working those fields, and time began to be on his side, I guess you would say. The time began to be on his side. When I say the time is on your side, yes it is. He began to increase in age. He was no longer that 14-year-old boy. He was no longer that young 21-year-old. He began to get older. Age began to favor him. The time began to get on his side. But there was something powerful that this man, he was able to do. I want you to listen closely. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Byron Mindset is Key Warren. Make sure that you hit the like button, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you can continue to get these motivated, uplifting messages from me. And we'll continue to press forward with the mindset and give you what jewels along the way, and you can have that day. So when you feel like you're down and out and you just can't go any farther, when you feel like you just can't continue on, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and hit that button and watch these videos often as you can. Listen to them much as you can, and you'll begin to see a difference in your own life. Apply these principles in your own life. Now back to the story here. So as time began to get on the man's side, he began to get older. He was looking at, man, I'm very advanced in age, and there were things I wanted to do in my younger years, but he almost got brainwashed into believing that he was too old to accomplish his dreams. He almost was persuaded to believe that he was just too old to do those things he wanted to do. Okay? But the powerful thing with this story, the man was like 60 or maybe 65 years old when he started his business. Now listen to me. 60 to 65 years old, he started a business. Now, I know you're probably wondering, you're probably saying, well, his family must have been rich, or he must have just really had a well-off life. No. This man worked the crops. He was just old farm hand, and that's all he knew was working those crops. But at 60, between the ages of 60 and 65, this man started a business at that age. So the point I'm making to you is, don't get bogged down when time is on your side. When you begin to advance in age, don't get the sour lemon face because your hair is turning a little gray, or your beard is turning gray. My beard has turned gray in several areas, and I'm proud of it, because time is on my side and yours as well. But the point I'm making is, in this message, is going beyond average. Okay? This man went beyond average. At 60 or 65, he could have been thinking about retirement and not, living long after, because, most people retire, and it's just been statistically proven that most people that work for so long and they retire, then they pass away later on because of the activities and so forth. You've all heard the story. But that man went beyond the average. And over the years of me gathering research and on several people that begin to do the same thing, they begin to change that mindset. And they knew that it was something that needed to be done. But see, you'll remain average long as you keep that selfish mentality. Long as you say, it's just about me. It's all about me. You'll continue to be that average person until you do above the average person. Here's going beyond the average means. You work your 40-hour week at a job. You had the weekends off. And instead of just laying around the house, kicking your heels back, looking at your favorite program, here's going beyond the average. You chose to get up Saturday morning, go to the nursing homes and sit with the elderly, or maybe play Biz Wiz or some card game with them, or maybe shared a story or something like that with them. Or maybe you went out to the youth community centers, handed out pizzas or done something different. That's going beyond the average. Anytime that you get out of your comfort zone, that's going beyond the average. But I really want to kind of give you something when you look back in the mirror and you say, you know what? The mindset. I've been in this average mindset for all this time. But see, this is the thing. Nobody told you that you have the ability to go beyond, because people try to define success based on the education that you have. Well, it's been statistically proven that you have people that will go to college, okay, and graduate college and do not pursue the career which they went to college to do. It's been statistically proven. You've had people that have several degrees. I'm talking about more degrees than a thermometer. And they still might be working at McDonald's because they just couldn't do it. Student loans got them over their heads. And they're looking back saying, man, I went to college, I got degrees, and here I am working at some place I dread every day just to pay student loans back. Well, again, never taking nothing from education, but you got to get your mind set. You got to be able to get in a place to where you can sit down, cut that TV off, and just have a personal talk with self. This is experience. Everything I share on my channel is life experience and research, because you're going to have to get a breakthrough. You don't want to spend all your days and you never got a breakthrough. And you hear everybody's story about how they rose to power, or you hear everybody's story about how they became this and how they became that and how they have this and that, but you don't have your own story. Well, I'm here to tell you today is the day for your story to come flourishing at the speed of light, because going beyond the average is a choice. Okay? I mean, you're going to really have to tune in within. You're going to have to get that subconscious mind to flow. You're going to have to let you be you, but you're going to need to get things in order. You're going to have to. And to make sure you go beyond the average, I want to give you some jewels, and we'll continue to dig into it and see through illustrations how this can affect a person's life. I mean, that average mindset. Because most people look at other people and say, well, such and such didn't do it. It just can't be done. Or Somewhere someone told you that that's never been heard of. Who can do that? That might be you, the person that can do it. You may be that person that can change a life. You might be that person to do great things that people said has never been done. I mean, it happens every day. There's thousands and hundreds of thousands of millions of people that have the same drive on the inside. It's just you resurrecting that drive. Again, like I shared in some of my other messages of how uh, I had these goals and different dreams of things to do when I was young, but my life was very much not what the average life would be. I mean, I was poor, single parent. My father wasn't there for me, and just it was just bad. Very rarely did we receive new clothes. A lot of the clothes we received were hand-me-downs, or a relative, gave us the things that they had. But my mother did the best she could. Please understand. But it just wasn't enough. Raising two sons in the house. My mother was working several jobs at the time, and it just wasn't enough. So to know what it feels like to have your water shut off. It's the peak of winter and you have no gas to keep you warm. You're under several blankets bundled up together, believing that one day we're going to get out of this. So I just never took anything that happened in my life for granted. Even as I grew up, those times of being struggling to make it, I never counted those as losses. I counted those as times of enduring. That's called going above, staying there when knowing that it's got to get better. Just weathering the storm, staying in it. But you got to know what you got to know. There comes a time that as you grow up, that you're gonna have to make some choices. If you don't want to remain the average person does what average people do. Okay? But you have to get to a point to where you says, I'm not average. I'm not gonna stay this average person. I'm not gonna keep going through the same race. I'm not gonna keep doing the same thing. I'm just not gonna keep doing the same things that got me the same results. So as we continue to look at the average mindset, we're going to look at how to overcome it. The key is overcoming. You hear people all the time, a lot of them say, I take this medication to maintain the stress level. If you're taking something to maintain a stress level, you probably need to do a mind reset, because you're going to have to get your mind set, and I just really want you to get your mind so set that you continue to do the things you need to do. But we laugh, we joke, but I don't find it a funny situation when a person is struggling mentally and you hear them and you ask them and they tell you, well, my whole life I was told that I had to have certain things to be able to do certain things. Now, listen to me, people. Don't get me wrong. There are always certain things within writing that you have to do. But when you've been confined mentally to believing that you cannot do something because someone told you it's never been done, or someone told you that you're just not qualified because they look at you, Have you ever been judged before? I have. I have tattoos on my arms and different places, and just different things to make a person look at you. But see, most people like to judge a book by its cover. But we've come to realize over time that that's the wrong move, because some of the greatest people in the world did not look like the people you would think would be the people that are discovering ideas and different things to take people to the levels that they need to be in life, or to create jobs and different things of that nature. But you got to understand the average. You got to rise above that mentality. And so often